Episode of Weird and Wonderful. We'll start with the wonderful end of game Bucks in Sacktown. Andre Jackson Jr. here looking like Tom Chambers. Bang!
Oh,
yes.
That does look like
because he gets the little extra elevation.
You would think that Doc would play him more than 4 minutes every once in a while.
His head,
He's great.
well, he did get the boost.
Yeah, he got the boost off the guy's lower back, right where Wiles is going to get the never a doubt.
How'd the Bucks do? They're your championship team?
Well, I get
Lost by
picks coming
35
up.
plus. Weird.
Light the beam.
4 minutes left. Wizards Grizz. It's Poole and Kuzma, and they don't even get a shot off. I mean, what do you do?
They tried to recreate LeBron and D Wade.
Were they going to throw it?
Yeah,
Poole
I mean,
has so many ideas right there. They just short-circuited.
This is just becoming imperative. I mean, this is ridiculous.
They lost to the
Wizards.
Grizzlies. They're stuck at 11 wins. Wonderful with a dose of weird. Celtics in Utah. Tatum with a Derrick Henry-esque step. I mean,
You're going to see a lot of that from Derrick Henry.
well, no, but
Get off me.
Okay, but in the NBA, Brew, is that legal?
really loud. AJ Redick will tell me there's no rules that help the offense, but that seems like one of them. Celtics are at 51 wins. Pretty good. Wonderful. Sixers in the Garden. My new guy, Kelly Oubre. Bang!
Yeah, Oubre's
He
been
can
playing.
play. Philly scored 79 points again.
It also seemed like a backcourt violation.
It wasn't.
See,
It looked like it.
I know it wasn't, but the Knicks thought it
'Cause he
was.
was-
No, it looked at the ref, and the ref said no.
Yeah, I know.
I think
he's
it
wrong.
was, though.
Yeah, I think
It
It was in
wasn't.
the circle, so the line.
It should have been.
It wasn't.
We know we're saying
Like, see,
it should have
No,
been.
he clearly was. It ain't even close.
Yeah.
Weird. Wolves come all
Got
the
your
way
back,
back. They're now up on the Clippers, decide to have some fun here. You know what? A little too much fun, but that's what. Oh, still a silly,
Where are your hops, son?
still a silly team, for the record. They are winning games, still a silly team. And that's the weird part of it from the national pastime. Welcome back to Predictions Week. Today, we are getting an early preview of Brew's ballot. Chris Broussard, of course, is an official voter of the league's awards, has been for years, but this is just in pencil.
Yes.
Unlike our predictions, which we are staked to, even though earlier today, Brew tried to move off of his Clippers pick in the morning meeting. Brew, take it away.
I do have an adjustment later on. All right, these are the awards, and again, it's in pencil. There's a little time left, so maybe some of this will change. Rookie of the Year, Wemby, he's going to be the face of the league. And I'm gonna say this, and this shouldn't even be a surprise. I'm not saying this is gonna happen for sure. I'm not saying it's definite. Ceiling, go.
Wow.
Ceiling. That's the ceiling. He might not reach his ceiling, but that's the ceiling.
And floor is a key.
Probably.
His floor?
I mean, unless he gets
His
if he's
floor?
healthy, yeah, the dude is crazy.
His ceiling?
Let me see that
No, I
again.
mean, it's pretty good.
All right, so Wemby is
Good
the
take.
rookie of the year. Malik Monk, I'm sure you like this.
Yes.
You know what I liked about Monk is that you got a lot of scores off the bench. He's efficient.
Yeah.
There are a few more that are efficient, but there are a lot of guys around 40% shooting, 41. He's at 45 and 37 from three, and he's a playmaker. Gives you 5.5 assists a game.
I like Monk.
Very few guys are doing that. He's playing really well. Defensive player of the year, I know Nick's not going to like this. Gobert. He's going to tie Ben Wallace and Dikembe Mutombo. He is the anchor of the best defensive team in the league.
And it's best by a lot.
Yeah, and individually, he's got the best
I do
defensive
like
rating
that.
in the league. Mark Daigneault, come on. Top seed in the West, tied with Denver. They may end up at number 2, but right now he's tied for number 1 with a team that's oldest starters 25 years old.
Yeah.
Think about that. I
no.
mean, that's crazy. So this dude can coach. So
If I may, so this is, as you know, you guys know, I don't have a vote. I don't have a ballot. At this point, it seems I never will. That's fine. I've come to terms with it. If I did, this would be mine at the moment as well. I agree with Brew.
You don't need one, really.
Exactly. There you
live
go.
through me. I don't care.
But I would like to focus just for a moment on Rookie of the Year, because Wilds before the year was big on Chet, and Chet probably would finish second. So that was a good take. Like, Wemby's been better than I think even Brew expected this season. And so look, I am not hesitant to bring up my Category 1 instantly correct takes or my Category 2 eventually correct takes. My Scoot Rookie of the Year take might be the rare Cat 3 Brew, so we're going to throw it on there. Hasn't gone great for the third pick of the draft. Not a little, more than a little disappointing for Scoot Henderson. And so I'm just being fair and being honest. You were at least up to 1 year in. I'm not saying Scoot Ceiling isn't the GOAT. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that through 1 year, Brew appears to be winning that argument.
Fair.
So credit to you, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Nick.
Yeah.
I'm something,
No, there's nothing coming.
There's something coming from out behind there, some break dancers, some band.
No.
All right, here, MVP.
Yeah.
And this is where we'll have some fun. Jokic, it's not just, yes, I think he's the best player in the world, but we know the best player doesn't win it every year. But Nick, he's the best offensive player in the league, I think. Yeah. I mean, scoring, he does it all. There's nothing he can't do offensively. And then defensively, I mean, he's not the greatest defender, but he leads the league in defensive plus minus. He's up there in defensive rating. Like, he's not a weak link defensively because he's so big and he's smart.
So they can get those fake reviews.
Here's the other thing, Nick. He is, of the Western Conference's top 8 teams, and you could even include the Lakers at 9, Golden State not really. There's 2 of them that don't have don't have multiple All-Stars that are pretty much still playing well. He's one of them. So this guy has the best record in the West, running through the West, and with no All-Star teammate. SGA, the second team.
Sure.
They're the other team that doesn't have another All-Star. And I talked about how young they are. This guy's leading the league in steals, second in scoring. I got to give him his props. He's got a bunch of young kids that he's carrying. He's young himself. Tatum, look, we last week was a rough week for him.
Totally fair.
Wasn't clutch, but look, I can't say Giannis is clutch as far as mentality
Giannis
might be
better
clutch,
than Tatum
but he's not a go. No, Tatum, they got the best record in the league by a mile.
Yep.
6 games over the best team in the West, 9.5 games over Milwaukee in the East. He leads them in scoring, in rebounding, is right there tied with Derek White essentially for assist lead. I got to give him his props, and they got the 5th best margin of victory ever.
Correct.
Yeah. So then I got Giannis at number 4. He's playing well. I do think they've been disappointed, Nick, though. For them, he's got a great second guy in Dame, and I get it, there's an adjustment, but they've been a little bit disappointing. Still got a shot. And then Luka's just a triple-double machine, even though they're not playing great as a team necessarily. I got to give him his love.
Great job. So if Joker wins his 3rd MVP, this is the company he would be with. Everybody has 3 or more. The bottom row, Magic, Larry, Moses, and then Joker if he got 3. So how do you think this would affect his legacy, Nick?
Well, yeah, I mean, to me, I disagree with Brew and SGA and Tatum. I'd have Jokic and then Giannis, and I'd have it closer than Brew seems to have it. Because Giannis, you could put his head there where Jokic's is. But that's right. That's the company of which he is trying to keep. The only person on that list that right now he already is within reaching distance of in the all-time rankings is Moses.
Right. And I think he'll get
I think he's likely to surpass Moses in most people's all-time rankings. I think we don't have to get into it. Wilds gets annoyed when Brew and I do 80s basketball reminiscing, but I think Moses is one of the most underrated players ever. I think he's one of the 15 greatest players ever. But that's the area Jokic is trying to encroach upon. I don't think that winning this MVP, Brew, and the championship this year for Jokic or Giannis would move them ahead of anyone else on that list.
Moses, though.
It would. For a championship and MVP for either of those 2 guys would move ahead of Moses, but not Bird or Magic or Wilt.
Okay, quickly, title time. Celtics officially the favorite, and Boston dispatched to the Jazz last night for their 51st win of the year. They also, as Brew mentioned, have an 11-point margin of victory, good for 5th of all time, with the caveat that the teams ahead of them all won the title. So, Brew, does this sway you to thinking the Celtics are going to bring home the Larry O'Brien trophy?
It's an interesting thing. I mean, you can't deny that history, but I will say this. I talked to Hubs about this. He said it was okay. He said stuff is written in, the cement is wet still. So I still got Boston winning the East.
Week.
I know. This is still predictions week. Yeah. I got Boston winning the East. But instead of beating Miami, they're going to beat Milwaukee in the conference finals.
What?
So it's Boston over Milwaukee. And talk to Hubs.
You got to that. All right, but who do you have in the finals? All right,
no, I got Boston beating Milwaukee in the Eastern Conference.
Okay.
So that hasn't changed. I got Denver beating Boston. I think Jokic is just too good. And Jamal Murray.
Yeah, who you keep saying Jokic gets MVP because he hasn't been the All-Star, and now you're going to tell me how great Jamal Murray is.
He's interesting because you know what? There are a few guys here. I think Calvin Murphy maybe made one All-Star team. He's a Hall of Famer. He right now is like on a Hall of Fame trajectory, and he's never made an All-Star.
Well, then maybe we should.
So look at this. He's averaging numbers. In the regular season, 17 points. He's at 25 in the playoffs.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
The dude is bad in the playoffs.
But you can't be like the Nuggets have nobody but Jokic, so he's winning MVP.
It's a fact that he's never made an All-Star.
But now he's a Hall of Famer.
And he's not Dame.
All right, so
Dame's
I don't have to change anything that I did yesterday or the day before, because Bruce also, by the way, going to abandon the Clippers being in the finals in a
I mean, if they get hurt, it's in the bylaws. I wrote the
I'm going to be, Brew, the only person that's going to believe in the Bucks. The fear of the deer. That Wilds used to love the Bucks. He brought out a reindeer. The guy dropped his antlers on him.
Twice bitten, one shot.
Bucks over Nuggets for the finals.
Ooh, really? No one's beating Denver in a 7-game series. We know it's going to go. Denver in 6, maybe even 5.
Wow.
Over the Celtics.
I like 6.
I like 5 to be honest.
If it happens in 5, the Celtics will make a major change.
You think?
If the Celtics, even if they make the finals, if they get worked, then they'll make a significant
Also, if Denver
move.
has to play the Lakers, that post sweep, it's that long.